everyone. Welcome back to another episode of my podcast. I'm dealing with post-bun hair, which if you're a girl, you know or if you've had long hair before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It will look good before the bun. It will look good when you have it in the bun, but then the moment you take it out, it looks like a mess, and it looks like I haven't washed my hair in like years. Before I get into this episode, we're going to do high-low buffalo, and I'm going to be completely honest. If you watched my last video, you'll know that I am just having the weirdest weekend. Honestly, the weirdest week. I haven't been in the best mindset. I can't even blame it on my period or anything. I'm just really angry at a lot of things right now. And I was going to post a video last week, but then I just was not in a good headspace, and I did not want to put that out there. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm not doing a very good job of handling it. I feel like I need to go to like a rage room and break a few things or scream into a pillow or something. Sometimes life is tough and you can't do anything but accept it and deal with it, and that isn't something you can just do overnight sometimes. And so there are little things that you can do to make your life a little bit easier to live. So these are some small, weird, uncommon habits that you can start implementing in your life to make it a little bit better. All right, but before I get into that high-low buffalo, like I always do, again, if you're new here, welcome. High is something good that happened in the week. Low is something bad. Buffalo, something weird. Starting with the high, even though I've had like a crazy, weird, emotional roller coaster of a week, something that like helped me get through it was the little things that strangers did. Is that a fucking spider? Okay, I'm just gonna pretend it's not there, and so I can finish this episode, and then I'll deal with it later. If it moves, anyways, my high. I went upstate yesterday, and I went to the small town. The energy of the place was just so good. Every time we would go into a store, the owners would say hi and genuinely ask how you're doing. And they would just comment on little things like your outfit, the weather, things like that. And I was just having conversations with all of these store owners in every single store I went into, which was so sweet. And then today I went to a coffee shop and I met up with some friends there, but then I stayed afterwards to read a book, and I stayed like 2 hours after my friends left. And the coffee shop barista guy, I think he just noticed that I was just there for such a long time, and everyone was just coming in and out, but I was there for such a long time. And he brought me a water, which is so sweet. It wasn't even like that kind of service where people are like waitresses and like putting food on the table. He literally went from behind the counter to give me a water. I don't even know. Why does it sound so weird when I talk about it? For my low, I am doing ClassPass, and one of the things about ClassPass is if you don't go to a class, you get charged. And it's not even something cheap. It's like, for this class specifically, it was $17. And I put it in my calendar as 6:30, but it was actually a 5:30 class. And I was like, oh, I need to double check. Sometimes in the description of the classes, they'll say, show up early or wear a certain type of clothing. And so I went to go look at the description, and then I realized that it was 5:30 and the class started at 5:30, but I put it in my calendar for 6:30. So I missed the class and I was charged $17. $17. I could get a okay meal with $17. So I just lost $17 for no reason, and it was so annoying. It was also upsetting because I really wanted to take that class. It was an aerial class, and I've never done it before. Aerial is like these fabrics that they hang up from the ceiling, and then you sit on it and you can like twist yourself in it and do all these cool like acrobatic things. And I've always wanted to take a class like that, and it was really hard to get into. This is the weird thing that happened last week. I was walking to my dance class from the subway, and as I'm like going out from the station, I see something scurrying, and then someone starts screaming out of nowhere. And so like in 1 second, it went from super calm subway, well, calm, New York calm subway, to like a crazy loud subway where these two girls start screaming. I feel something like smack into my boot, and I'm looking down and I'm like, what the hell? And it's a freaking giant like 8-inch rat running in the subway. And then this homeless person starts rushing out in front of me and starts chasing after the rat. And this is all in the matter of like 5 seconds. And I'm literally like late for my dance class. So I was just so focused on getting to this dance class that I didn't process everything that was happening. So I just kept going. I genuinely was a native local New Yorker in that moment because I did not bat an eye. I just looked down, punted a rat across the station, and then moved on with my life. It was a hard smack. Yeah, it was a big meaty rat. The topic of this episode, which is small, weird, uncommon habits to make life a little bit better. All right, so starting with the first thing, and this is something that came from a book that I'm currently reading. This is How You Heal by Brianna Weiss, maybe. One of the things that she put in her short story is to assume that everyone likes you before you even interact with them. They have that inclination to like you in the first place. And so I saw this and it was just this random line in the book. And I was like, that's actually a pretty good point, because if you make yourself delusional to thinking that everyone already likes you before you've even done anything, you act a lot differently, because it's like the same thing with hanging out with your friends that you're close to. You already know that they like you. And so when you act with them, you're more comfortable and you're more willing to open yourself up and be yourself. And because of that, it's very contagious and it's like a good energy in general. But then at least for me, when I interact with strangers, I'm a lot more closed off, and as in most of the time, I give a very closed off, not unfriendly, but I'm not very warm and welcoming. And it's not because I don't want to meet anybody or I have something against anyone, but it's just because I am personally insecure and really bad at interacting with new people that I've never met. So I started trying this thing that she said, which is to pretend that people already do like you before you even met them. And I tried it a lot this weekend, which is why I think I got so many good interactions with strangers. So it might be not just them just being really nice, sweet people, and I happen to be lucky to be interacting with those kind of people, but I think it's also because I was giving that energy off, and it made it so much easier to meet all these people that I've been meeting yesterday and today, just by shifting my mindset and pretending almost a little bit narcissistically that everyone likes me before they've met me. So it's a little, cuckoo and weird, but it's been working. Because I don't feel like I'm just meeting a stranger. I feel like I'm just talking to my friend, even though they're technically a stranger. And it's been really nice. Me being introverted and doing this. All right, the next thing is and I've talked about this before, screenshot and save letters or compliments you've ever been given. Like just nice things that people have said to you, said about you. Save those things in a notes, in a photo album folder, whatever. I can show you mine. I have this photo album of screenshots. They actually include messages from friends, family, and also comments from my podcast and from my videos. I was in people's top podcasts in their Spotify Wrapped, which is crazy. Some people's comments saying like, I really related to this and it helped me a lot to get through this tough moment. They help me so much whenever I have moments of self-doubt, or I'm just like, man, I feel really shitty about myself and I am self-sabotaging like I shouldn't be. And sometimes it helps to have a little bit more physical proof that actually you belong here, that people care about you, that you are loved, that you're supported, and that you are making a positive impact on other people's lives. And because of that, you should be here because you are making the world a better place. Take a look at it whenever you're having a rough day. So next is don't leave your phone on the table while you're working or while you're eating. Once you put your phone on there, you're always more tempted to grab for it, and it makes it way easier and way more accessible. So you're more likely to get distracted. You're more likely to not be present in the moment while you're working and eating. And I say eating specifically because I think it's a perfect time, 3 times, 2 times, whatever, how many times you eat in a day, to just take a second to unplug from all the technology and all the screens and just enjoy a meal. And this is also just from my own experience of having an eating disorder, where when you eat, I've been told, at least it's recommended that you take in and be present for every single bite and every single flavor profile of everything you're eating. The next thing is to bring cash or keep a snack in your bag. And this is not for you in this case. This is for somebody else. This is for someone who might need the cash, someone homeless, someone who needs emergency money, an emergency snack. You can provide it for them. I put like bars in my bag, and bars are preferable. Something's wrong. I prefer to put bars because they don't break as easily and they last literally forever. And so I put that into my bags. And I also have $2-3 in every single bag that I have, so that if I see somebody who's asking for money or food, I can give it to them. Next is to say thank you before eating, and thank you to the person who made you food. If somebody made you food, saying just thank you to yourself in your head for all the work that had to go into that plate of food. So I'm talking the people who picked the fresh fruit, veggies, whatever, the people who caught the fish, who killed the cow. Thank you to the cow. Thank you to the plant. Thank you to the person who delivered and drove the food across the country or whatever to get it to the market. Thank you for all the people who packaged the food. Just going through that whole process of saying thank you and being very appreciative and thinking about how it got to that plate in the first place can bring a lot of gratitude. It's a very easy and quick gratitude practice. And I really like doing this because you don't realize, like, yes, that plate of food is just another plate of food, but so much work, so many processes, so much time, so much energy was put into getting that plate of food in front of you, and now you're going to enjoy it. And it makes it even more special. It's not just any apple. It's not just any bowl of cereal. And another small habit to implement in your life to make it a little bit better is to shower in the morning. And I shower in the morning even if I don't work out. I shower in the morning every day. I shower in the night too. So I shower twice a day. Not that anybody needed to know, but just in case you guys thought. Like, I just shower really fast in the morning and don't actually properly clean myself. But in the morning, I shower really quickly. I do like it's not even 5 minutes. I think it's like 2-minute shower. I just run water over my body and I wash my face really fast. And it's just so I can wake up. It's the best thing. It really just makes me super wide awake by taking a shower in the morning. And I feel much more refreshed, clean. And I feel like I don't have like the smell or like stuffiness that I get from like sleeping. I feel like when you're sleeping, you're in a really tight, small place and you're like stuffy, if that makes sense. And so I feel like a lot of your smells and all of like the stuff that come out of your body just gets trapped and it just like sits on you. And so I like to shower to rinse myself off and get started with the day and feel a lot more refreshed and clean. The next thing I recommend doing is cleaning your digital files weekly. And I do this with my photos and also my emails. I try to keep to 1,500 photos max and 800 emails. And I get rid of things that I do not need, repetitive photos and I move them into Google Photos, and it reduces the need of in the year from now that you have to do like this huge deep clean, and it's just way more overwhelming for no reason. Next is, if you're living in an area where you drive a lot, I would highly recommend parking your car farther in the lot. I have a freaking cramp. Yeah, parking your car farther in the lot. I started doing this ever since I went back home from New York to California, where I drive a crap ton. And I love driving, but something that I hate about the convenience of driving is that I stop walking as much, and I feel like a freaking sack of potatoes. And so an easy way to force myself to walk a little bit more and get exercise is I park my car at the very back of the lot. And this has a lot of perks. One is that you'll almost always find a spot because you're parking so far in the back. And two, obviously, is that you get to walk more. And it's just a quick, maybe extra 5-minute walk, and you're just healthier because of it. The next habit I would highly recommend implementing is to keep a pen and journal in your bag, or just bring a pen and journal with you everywhere. And anytime you have a thought in your mind, an idea, you write it down. This journal comes with me more often than I think my wallet comes with me. In every single one of my bags, I have a pen. I do this purposefully, like I said, to write all of these podcast ideas, to write all of my YouTube video ideas, and to just journal, period. And if you're not going to do it physically, at least always have some type of notes app easily available. Another habit is to use hair oils. And I recommend this for guys and girls. There's 2 types of hair oils. There's vitamin E and Moroccan oil. I use both of them, and I use both of them every other day. So the Moroccan oil I use for my hair, and it's to keep it from being too frizzy and dried out. It actually helps so much to make my hair look like it just came out of the salon and very healthy. And then with the vitamin E, if you are losing hair or you want more hair in certain areas, like I want my eyebrows to be darker. I have a really weird hairline. I'm really exposing myself, which is why I love my bangs, because they hide my giant forehead, which I'm not a big fan of, if I'm honest. And I've been using the vitamin E oil to increase hair growth, and it's been insane because I actually noticed a difference. I was using this eyelash curler, and I used it really badly, and I just was too forceful with it, that I lost a whole chunk of eyelash hair. And it's like not even just subtle. It was straight up, I had no eyelash hairs for like half my eyelid. And I was really upset about it. And then I bought the vitamin E oil, and I started using it every other day for 2 weeks. And it freaking grew back, guys. I literally have a full set of eyelashes. I mean, I know they don't look like I just put falsies on, but I have my eyelashes back. And I haven't been able to grow them back for like a year or two. And all of a sudden, when I put the oil on my eyelashes, they just started growing back. And it's pretty quick too, if you keep it consistent. The next thing is, the first thing that you consume in your day is water. You won't be as quick to fall into cravings, like food cravings or coffee, caffeine cravings, if you get water in first. Okay, last small habit. Leave your phone at home if you're going on a small little trip. So, for example, if I'm making a quick errand to, I don't know, drop off a letter at the post office or something, and I know I don't need my phone, then I won't bring my phone. It's just to remind myself that I don't actually need my phone, and that it's not that much of an incentive as I thought it was, because nowadays it is super uncommon to leave your phone anywhere. Like, everyone always has their phone with them, and I feel like we've gotten to the point where we've been so attached to it, we get nervous and anxious when we don't have our phone near us, and we become so dependent on it. Before phones existed, we were just fine, and we were very sufficient. And so just to remind myself that I don't need a screen with me, I don't need technology, and I'm fine figuring things out myself, I sometimes leave my phone at home. And it's kind of freeing because then I go out and I'm like, I have no messages that I can check even if I wanted to. I don't have anything I can use to distract me. That's technology. Those are some small, weird, uncommon habits that you can add to your life to make it a little bit better. I hope these are things that you are open and actually do try to implement in your life, because it is so small and so easy. And if you have other ideas and suggestions, please leave them down below. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to, like I always say, like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Rate the podcast, like the podcast if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.